All right, welcome to Burn the Ship. Thanks for coming back. Our goal at Burn the Ship is always to connect entrepreneurs or professionals that can help you go all in on your business. We talk to people that have walked the walk, talked the talk, been through all the things that we experience as small business owners, and we try our best to package up some of those skills and experiences and teach them to you guys so that we can just make life easier for you. Thank you. I appreciate you coming very much. I want to say that up front. I appreciate that. Anybody that spends the time, makes the effort to be here and help us out, it does mean a lot. So thank you for that. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about your business.
Cool beans. Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate being here and the opportunity to just share some information with people out there in the world. I'm Kiki, owner of Kiki 360 Design. I think when I named the business, we had no idea that it would literally be all encompassing of everything in design. Sometimes I even question if I should still call it, if I should still just refer to myself as a graphic designer, because I still like to do that. Say I'm the owner, but I'm a graphic designer. That's what I do. But we do branding, so logo design, color palettes, anything for print that you may need for your business. We do marketing, so we do search engine optimization, we do website design, anything for print, web, media, marketing, PR, e-blast, a little HTML. Like we really 360 it.
Yeah. Tell me a story. How did you get where you are right now? Like, what's your background?
So my undergrad degree is in commercial and advertising art, my master's in business. And how we got there was my natural God given talent. Um, oh, I'm saying I probably got two, but my first one is art. So as a kid, I used to draw, and like I still have drawings of like Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy, like
Oh yeah.
just like old characters from the 80s when I was a kid. Me and my brother, the third one. I'm the oldest of seven also.
Oh
So,
wow.
but we used to have drawing competitions and used to draw and just draw. So when I came to college, I didn't know what I was gonna do my freshman year. Um, I had wanted to be a lawyer actually.
Oh wow.
I know, right? And how did I go completely flip? No idea. I'm just gonna say life. And but they had a graphic design program at Alabama A&M University. Go Bulldogs!
Mm-hmm.
Um, Alabama, sitting right in Huntsville, Alabama, which is where I'm still currently located. Came to school, and I think after my first year, I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go do the graphic design thing." Now, what I couldn't do was do the starving artist thing, hence
Yeah.
the graphic design, because they had fine art, and I was like, "I will never do the starving artist thing. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be it'll be something I do when I'm old, and just sit around and paint, right? Like that's my end goal in life. I really do love what I do, love creating, and just love the beauty of the world. So it's kind of perfect. It keeps me happy every day with what I do, no matter what kind of clients I get. So, so yeah, that's how we started. Like God given talent, and then just took it into let's make some money with it.
How'd you start finding clients?
Well, I think like with a lot of business, you start out with your friends and family, and they kind of refer. And I think, and I would say honestly, probably like 50% of my business is still, if not 75%, is still referrals and long uh, time clients that I've had for forever. So it just keeps growing. I just keep adding people on. Like some people you just can't get rid of. They're kind of like your favorite socks.
Sure.
So I'm kind of like some people's favorite socks. They be like Kiki, and I'll have clients that I haven't talked to in 2, 3 years. They be like, Kiki, do you remember me? And I'll be
Yeah.
like, yeah. They be like, I got something for you. Can you help me? And I'll be like, absolutely. So,
Is it mostly local?
yeah, no. So when I decided to go full on, so I freelanced, um, like all through college, all out of college. So I went and got my master's in business after I got my undergrad degree in graphic design. Like I said, I was not going to be doing the
Sure.
starving arts. So I got my master's. So I worked as a manager for a couple of companies over the years, and I always freelance. So like freelance was like my vacation money. When I go on
Yeah.
a trip, yeah, I'm good. I'm in there. So I always freelance. So I used different sites like I freelance, 99 Designs, and
Hmm.
things like that. Some of the clients that I got from there, I still have. Um, So I freelanced a lot um, when I was still doing management. In 2010, and this is a story. You want a story? So in
Yeah.
2010, I
Oh
worked for
yeah.
a loan company. I was the manager at a loan company, and we got robbed.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I know, right? And the crazy thing about it is that I have been talking to upper management about it. Like, there used to be security because there was a bank next to us, right? They took the security away, and I was like, hey, there's probably going to be a problem. We need to do something, and they didn't do anything. So then when we got robbed, I was like, yeah, no, y'all don't care. Like, you might know, like, corporate companies don't really care about the little people, but yeah, that was the eye opener for me. So I quit my job then, started writing a book, cashed out my 401k, and just did. And I was like, I'll do this for a year and see how it goes, and probably go back into corporate America. And then after a year, I was like, yeah, no, I'm
And
gonna
that
keep on
was
going.
what, 20 years ago?
Yeah,
Yeah.
isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it is. Happens fast though. I think you get used to being your own boss. You get used to making your own schedule, and I'll tell you this: there's like this for me, like the whole podcast and video production thing is like the first time that any portion of creativity met business for me. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah,
I've been like the biggest advocate in the world over the past like 3 years and some change of like find some creative outlet for you that's related to your business. Like even if it's it can be so many different things, but when you find ways to creatively go and about like even a podcast is a good example, just building a listenership and putting your expertise and your experiences out there, but finding a way for creativity to meet like the where the rubber meets the road for your business is was a huge thing for me as far as just being able to enjoy. I'm also just like a an addict for progress. I always have to have something in my life that I feel like I'm constantly improving or constantly reading about. When I find myself like, listening to the same song 4 or 5 times in a row going down the road, I'm like, man, I could be listening to a book or just learning something right now, or just getting better at anything, and that's just kind of always how my
yeah,
mind has worked. And when I was able to like I think when you first start your business, you want to get to a steady point where it's like a steady thing. And then there comes a point where you're like, I want to continue to find ways for this to feel fresh to me. So I've been a huge advocate for finding like a creative outlet related to your business ever since that kind of was established for me whenever we started doing the podcast and other stuff related to cameras and stuff like that. We have a lot of fun when we do it as well. Do you find that like do you find that that's good medicine for your clients as well? Like is when they interact with you maybe the first time they've thought about something from a designer or creative perspective?
yeah. I even recommend my clients do something different, do something fun, and just do whatever. Like, think of it and do it.
Yeah,
Like, that's it. Like, if you love it, if you like it, I love clients that love what they do. I recommend to everybody that to love what you do, but also know what you do. You have to know your business. Um, and one of the number one things I tell everybody: just because you build it, don't mean they will come.
that's a fact.
There's work. There is work in that. There is work in coming up in number one in Google, right, and on that front page. Like, yeah, don't think just because. And I see a lot of businesses feel that way, like not knowing, and it's just so much for them to have to know these days
Yeah,
that it's kind of hard. And then it's changing. AI is changing the way everybody does everything. So ads, marketing, all of it. It's design, even in design. Like, I almost feel a little bad for some artists out there. Like, there's some great stuff coming out of AI. Even I play with it and create some things. And I'd be
for
like,
sure.
that is pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It definitely is. What would you say has kind of been your superpower as far as when you've been through this process of growing your business? Like, has it been staying on top of things technology wise, getting in front of people? Like, well, what's been that thing that you've done well that's helped you grow?
Well, I think it's all of that, but I think all of that is me. So I'll have people that'll go to Fiverr and then they'll come to me.
For sure.
And there is a big price difference between Fiverr and me.
Mm-hmm.
And some clients will be very honest and say, why? And I will say, because you are giving me, you're getting 20 years of experience. right? I was like, I just gave you, if you go do what I said, I just gave you a way where you could grow your business times 10. All you got to do is do what I say.
Mm-hmm.
Take the advice that I give you and follow the plan. So yeah, I think for me, for Kiki 360 Design, it's named Kiki 360 Design for a reason. We do stay on top of pretty much everything as much as we can. I'm like you, I'm always wanting to learn something new, do something new. So AI, how to integrate AI, like, and honestly, I'm integrating it into the things I do right now. It's actually saving me a lot of time. It's not there. Creating great images is cool, but say, like, what I would like to see in AI, especially for me when I do social media management, is that it's good at writing content, but it's not as authentic. You really have to work on the authenticity of the voice, right? Because it's AI,
Yeah.
right? So you have to work on that. But like to be able to automate everything where I can say, hey, I want this campaign. This is what I want in that campaign. This is how I would like to post. And then it actually creates good images. Like if you look at the images that AI creates for businesses, they look the same. They're not that great.
Yeah.
Right. So
And
so
when you
that
try to tell it to add some uniqueness, it really goes off the wall a lot of
yeah.
times. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not there. So they haven't got that part pretty good yet. But like content writing, blog writing, guides for doing things, it's pretty awesome.
What do you find have been some of the biggest obstacles?
The biggest obstacles I would say in my business is it's staffing. Uh, I would say staffing. I could be a great boss and a hard boss, I think, at the same time. And considering the fact that I was in management for 15 years, yeah, I know people. I love to intern though. I think that's my sweet spot here is to get interns from the local college and actually teach them because they don't get that experience. And it's kind of hard to get it. And if you don't have the get up and go like I did, because like I said, it's my natural talent. So like I was always drawing for friends and family, doing murals and things. And so when I decided I was doing graphic design, just to go out and say, hey, where can I freelance at? Like I already had clients when I was an undergrad in like my sophomore year. So I had actual paying clients. And so you don't get that experience if you don't get out there and do it. And everybody doesn't get out there. And sometimes you just don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And there's just and the design field and the marketing field is just so big. And there's so many ways that you can go with it. So trying to find your niche, trying to find your own style in it at the same time. And then of course there's customer service. So things that make your customers happy.
Yeah.
So
And I think that I would say from the outside looking in at your industry, probably one of the things that your industry experiences a lot of is like trying to replicate that creativity. You know what I mean? In one direction or the other, because I feel like a lot of people that really pour that creativity into their clients
mhm.
sometimes neglect that level of creativity in their own brands and vice versa. Like sometimes people spend so much time creatively thinking and analyzing, the branding of their own brand that um, either they don't talk to enough people or it's hard for them to replicate. That solution just takes so much time for them because of how much it took for them to arrive at that same conclusion for their baby, that it's hard for them to put together a solid and repeatable solution or thought process feedback system, whatever you would call it, for how they're interacting with their clients. And I think that your band-aid for that has been just being naturally talented and creative at art. But what would you say to those people that maybe don't necessarily feel like that's their superpower? What if there are people that are getting into, graphic design is the third or fourth thing down their list that they wanted to learn? You know what I mean? And this as well as I do. Everybody has that creative outlet. Sometimes it's website design, sometimes it's photography. Like, what would you say to those people that don't feel like, for whatever reason, they don't feel like they're that best out of the box graphic designer?
I don't think you have to be the best out of the box graphic designer. Again, I would go back to if you like what you do, you love what you do, it's going to show in your work, right? If it's something that you want to do, if it's something that you want to learn, And these days, you don't have to go get a 4-year college degree. Like there are so many tutorials online. You want another story?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Always. I'm a sucker for a
So
story.
here's like for a story. Okay, so I think this was like 2 years ago. I actually had a parent reach out to me and was like, "Can you talk to my son about, graphic design and what it's like to be a freelancer, right? And and then being a social media marketer and things like that, right?" And really the parent was trying to get them to not do it. So I think I failed
Yeah.
in the parent part when they came. I don't think the parent, I didn't get the, "Oh, thank you so much." at the end at the end of talking to the kid, right? But because they wanted, I think they just wanted to be, they like wanted to be an influencer or a social media marketer. And I was like, yeah, they didn't, I don't think they wanted to spend money on college for that. And I'm like, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're talented and it's what you want to do, what I would say do is start doing it now,
Yeah.
right? Go watch, go look at who you love now, go learn now, go practice now, go offer your service for free while you're a kid for somebody that has a business and get that experience and see if that is really what you want to do. Let the kid go experience it, let them go do it. And while they're still in high school, before you start spending five, six, $10,000 on college, let them go do it now.
I
Why
told
turn them away?
my wife and I had the same conversation the other day. We were on TikTok. We sit there and watch, like, when we try not to be on our phones separately, right? Like if we're on
The
our phone
endless
and we're
scroll.
looking at the same thing, that's cool with us, no big deal. We're talking about whatever. But on her TikTok, she sees these makeup things, like these women put together makeup tutorials, or they rate a product or whatever that may be. And that's not really her thing. I think it just is, you know, her demographic has identified her as a woman, but and we don't put enough input into what we actually watch for them to have a really good
She didn't
understanding.
click. She didn't swipe fast enough.
We don't swipe fast on anything. We don't like anything. We just let it. Almost the most exciting part of the ride is just letting it try to figure out who we are. You know what I mean? But I told her, I said, some of these young ladies that I see putting together these videos for TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is, I would love to hire or intern a lot of these people, because they have taught themselves how to create this content with no schooling. They've either consumed enough content with other people doing it that they went and figured it out, or they looked it up on YouTube, or they try to mimic a style and make it their own a little bit. But like, those young ladies have pressed every button up there in the top panel of Instagram, or every button at the bottom of a TikTok reel while they're uploading it, and learned what they like and what they don't like. If there is any experience of like figuring out graphic design and branding, I think it's a damn good start. You know what I mean? Like, and I told her that. I
Yeah.
was like, dude, I really wish I could hire some of these people. Like, because they don't understand the skill that they're like on the borderline of developing if they keep doing this and applying it to different areas.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'm trying to remember. I was reading an article that said what the number is for social influencers that they make. I feel like it was like 300 and something dollars or something. It's what the average influencer makes, and you have to get over 1 million followers before you can start making that $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
Thing. It takes dedication. Um, and a lot of people are not confused at like how hard it is to really make content and to make it consistently,
Oh yeah.
right? Because I've had clients come in and they be like, "Yeah, we want a TikTok and we want to do this," and then when I tell you what it requires and what all you have to do and what is needed, then it's like, uh,
Different story.
yeah, it's a different story because y'all still have a business to run. So it takes the dedication, and you have to. And I definitely, with my clients, before we do anything, you have to be dedicated to what we're doing. Nobody's here to waste time or money.
Yeah, that's a fact. If people do want to give you some money in exchange for some of your time, how do they find you?
I am everywhere as Kiki360. If you type in Kiki360, I'm going to come up on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Kiki360 Design. everywhere. You can email me at kiki360design at gmail or info at kiki360design.com. And honestly, you could just give me a call, 256-468-6995. I always answer the phone.
I appreciate that. Tell me this: what does it feel like to go all in on your business, right? And through this whole journey for you, I mean, you're talking to a bunch of people that are either in the process of starting that themselves, or early on down that road, and they're still trying to kind of pinpoint their direction and who they are and why they do what they do. But if you had to sum it up in a few words, what's it feel like to go all in on your business, and why should other people seek out that same experience?
It is freeing and independent. You are the captain of your ship. There's a lot of responsibility. It's a lot of work. It's not for everyone. But if you have a good work ethic, and like I said, if you love what you do, go for it. I tell everybody, and at least try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's an exciting thing. It really is. And I think one of the coolest things about this podcast is that we've shown people time and time again that the entrepreneurs that we interview and the experiences that we've accumulated as salespeople and hosts of a business podcast, like, we're all normal people. We all experience normal things and normal problems, and the biggest differentiator between entrepreneurs and prospective entrepreneurs is literally just that decision to bear that weight and endure the challenges that you endure. So I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate your stories. I appreciate your energy as well. I live just south of Rome, actually, across the Alabama line. I have some clients over in your area as well. So if I ever come that way, I'm going to connect you with some people and maybe come see you.
Cool beans. Sounds awesome.
Cool. Well, I'm excited about it too. If you have anything else to leave the audience with, please, the floor is yours. The platform is yours. But I've checked all my boxes. I think this has been a good time.
No, I think it's been a great time. Again, like I said, thank you for letting me share a couple stories with you. Hope people are inspired, and get out there and start your own business, or at least try.
Absolutely. All right, burn the ship.